Good evening, everyone, and thank you for being here. My name is Matt Holden. I'm currently a rising junior at George Washington University and a member of the Newtown Action Alliance's Board of Advisors. But 13 and a half years ago, I was just a first grader, walking into school on a cold December morning, excited to make gingerbread houses with my class to celebrate the holidays. I remember everything as business as usual, until the shooting started. When something traumatic happens, especially to someone so young, it tends to be remembered in still images. In my mind, I can remember several. The image of me and my classmates hiding in the cubbies, the officer with his gun drawn, ready to fire as we hurriedly evacuated, holding our hands up to our faces so we couldn't see the carnage, the look on my mom's face as she ran up to me once we were out, happy just to know I was alive, and the walk my parents took me on the next day, where they told me I would never see some of my first friends again. No first grader can truly understand the horror of a school shooting. And so as I've grown, I've come to learn and understand that day in new and different ways, along with its aftermath. Most importantly, I've learned that nothing really changed at the federal level. Those we lost did not receive justice, and that the thoughts and prayers offered were just that, only thoughts. That cycle of thoughts and prayers and inaction has continued to happen after every shooting since then, only with more contempt and less care each time. It's reached a point now where these shootings, our current government can't even bother to offer thoughts and prayers, because they know it was their inaction and the divisiveness they sow that allowed these horrific attacks to keep happening. That was the case in one of the latest shootings at a mosque in San Diego, where 3 people were needlessly murdered and there were practically crickets from the executive because they knew it was the very hate they spread that inspired those attacks. Along the lines of the same hatred, our government scapegoats immigrants or trans people, both of which groups commit shootings at a lower rate per capita than white males, for our violence epidemic so they can breed more hate and divisiveness in our nation. And because it gives them an excuse to ignore the real problem that is the combination of mental health crisis and the ease of access to weapons of war in this country. As you'll notice as a theme, this current administration is built on a mountain of lies and hypocrisies. They love to claim that we are coming for their Second Amendment rights, all while they actively attack our First Amendment rights, censoring the media and restricting press access to the president. They send our soldiers off to die in yet another foreign war, and send the cost of living for the average American skyrocketing once again after the president ran on a platform of lowering costs and no more wars. They put their incompetent family members and friends in positions of power or give them government contracts for millions. Remember when they attacked Hunter Biden for being on the board of the Ukrainian oil company, saying that the Bidens were trying to profit off their positions of power? I find that oh so ironic now, considering Donald Trump's net worth has nearly tripled since he took office last year. Make no mistake, the people in power now will not change, no matter how much we protest. They're looting our government for billions at our expense, and on the way out, they'll pardon themselves after they write that one final check and fly back to their private islands in the Caribbean. Change will not happen because Trump has a sudden dementia-addled spiritual awakening. It won't happen because the Republicans in Congress decide to wake up one day and say, hey, what if we valued children's lives over lining our own pockets and return all the NRA money? No. Change starts right here with people like you all who show up and show out to rallies like this to speak their mind. It starts at the local level with voting for candidates like the wonderful Michelle Ambray-Coo, who has done so much for our town and now has the opportunity to do so much more for us in Hartford. It starts at the state level with re-electing our great Governor Lamont and the rest of our Democratic leadership so they can keep up the fight and keep Connecticut safe. It starts at the national level with re-electing our champions, Senator Murphy and Representative Hayes, and continuing to support them and our other champion, Senator Blumenthal, as they keep up the fight to keep us safe in Congress. But most importantly, especially as we celebrate our nation's 250th anniversary this year, change started all those centuries ago when our founders declared that everyone has the right to life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. When they fought for our rights to speech, to vote, to live a safe and happy life. So keep marching, canvassing, calling, speaking out, and most importantly this November, voting. Keep exercising those rights because the spirit of those founders lives on in every American who will not let our nation's ideals be twisted by a corrupt few who lead us now. The slogan, "Make America Great Again," has always felt so wrong to me because it fundamentally misunderstands what actually continues to make America great. There is not a single man or group of politicians or party who decides what is or isn't great in this country. No, America is great and has been great because we, the people, have the chance to make this country everything we dream of. It's the fact that that same scared little boy from 13 and a half years ago can stand in front of you now and demand change for those injustices that have still not been fixed all these years later. And it's the fact that all of you here, that all of you can be here, that this rally can exist, and that I know we will never stop fighting until the injustice that is gun violence that has plagued our country for decades is gone, and no one fears for their lives or the lives of their loved ones. Do not let yourselves be silenced. Do not stop fighting. And do not let anyone make you forget that people like you all are the reason America is great. And most importantly for me, never forget that those angels we lost 13 and a half years ago still deserve justice. Thank you.